You take what's given and divide it by 614 or whatever our membership has been this week, right? I mean, is that exact? No, because we got a few teens. We got about 60 college kids, 64, I think, and you know, they give what they can, but they're not enough still to really skew this thing. We got a lot of people who give hundreds of dollars a week, but still, when you divide what we gave by the number of members we have, that comes up to $37 a member for the month of January. I just got February's report. Today, it went up a little bit, about $1. Amen. Okay, now, stay with me here. Suppose that $37 a member represents a tithe. You follow what I'm saying? In other words, that is everybody tithing, and that comes out to $37 a member. Okay, follow this. If that is 10% of what people are making, that means the average income in our congregation in New Jersey is $19,200 a person, or $38,400 a couple. Now, this is a sensitive area. We got some college kids who are like, if I can make $19,000 a year, oh my goodness. Guys, we live in an expensive area. This is sensitive because I know we have some people on limited incomes and fixed incomes and all kinds of things. But aren't we still kind of pretty much a middle-class church when you look at it? Yes. Do you really think our average family income in our church is less than $40,000 a year? I mean, really? That's almost, well, the next sentence. That's just barely above minimum wage. The minimum wage in New Jersey is $8.44 an hour. That's the information I got a couple of weeks ago, unless it's changed, or $17,555 a year. A tithe of minimum wage would be $34 a week.
Wow.
So what we're saying, what we're giving for, there's two issues here to me. Three issues, I'll say it. One is consistency. There's a lot of, why should it fluctuate up and down all the time? Second issue is that the majority comes from a minority. The majority comes from a third of the church. The third issue is, are we really giving anywhere close to a tithe? Again, this is sensitive, and I don't want to make you feel bad for where you are in life, but I don't think our average family income in New Jersey is less than $40,000 a year. It's just, this is where we live, which says I think we're way far away from averaging giving 10% of our income. That's what this says to me. Now, I realize that this is a lot of stuff. This is a lot of heavy stuff. And I just wanted you to know, though, reality. I know there's some of you in this room who, Lewis and I were talking about it earlier, who always, whether you had little or lot, have given generously. And I do believe God blesses us when we do that. Go back to lesson 1. I do believe that. A lot of you have stories of putting God first with what you do every week and what you do special contribution, and just things happen that there's no way you could orchestrate. I believe that. I've seen that. I believe that we have, people who love God and all that. But I think we need to understand kind of where we are with this, because it is about our hearts. I want to say that again. It's not really about our money, but money is such a key indicator of our hearts and our priorities. I do believe that. That's why all those scriptures, there's some scriptures that, I didn't put on there. Paul says, keep your 1 Timothy, we've talked about 1 Timothy about not trusting and all that, but, Paul says, keep your life free of the love of money. It's the root of all kinds of evil. Because it just gets us. All right. let me kind of review this, and then I want to get some feedback, and I hope some encouraging feedback. But first of all, let me say where we've talked about. What are we trying to do? Guys, there are so many things. I'm telling you, we in the Murdochs and our little staff and Lewis and Tosa, we went for a couple of days last fall just away, and just for 2.5 days thought and prayed and dreamed and planned. What can God do just here in New Jersey? This is where some of this stuff about planting Christ in every community and all the dots on the map and the community worship services and all these things, like we can do, God can do so much more through us to reach people. And again, the rest of the church, if we can do more, we can be a blessing to the rest of the church as we're trying to raise up young people to go into the ministry throughout our church, which is still going to take money. Okay. I don't want us to be lulled into a false sense of accomplishment when we reach this budget number. Because two things: is this what we should be giving according to our incomes? And it doesn't really reflect even what we're doing, much less what we want to do. All right, so we want to grow in being consistent when we don't have a normal Sunday. And I think, again, that's just part of life. You know, again, other areas of life, you don't just say, oops, I missed my mortgage payment. Oh, well, they won't notice. And I know this isn't the same, but it is the same. So about 1/3 of us give by far the most. That's pretty much 90% of what happens. What we give is about what minimum wage is in New Jersey. These are things I think we just got to think about, pray about. I'm asking some questions. Okay, don't look on somebody else's paper. And if you want to write something down, I think that'd be great. If you want to go home and do it. For example, what is your gross weekly income? Some of your papers say net, because I got all confused. And I changed it when I printed up some more. If it says net, cross it out and put gross. Why? This is my opinion based on the Old Testament. I'll say that. The Jews, I read it again today because I'm reading through Leviticus, into Numbers. Fortunately, I'm getting to past all those names, but God has that in there for a reason. That's a whole nother topic. They tithe off the top. Not what was left over after. And when you get to net, that gets tricky. Was that after taxes? Is that after you pay all your bills? Well, I paid the mortgage and the car payment and the groceries and everything else, so here's what I got left. I know for us, it's always been what we consider to be our gross income. I can't help it what they're doing with the taxes. I don't know. Let's don't even get into that. Okay, what is your weekly income? I said to the women, I'm sure my wife doesn't know. But I know she knows what we make and what we give and what percentage that is. Because she just, I do the finances. Not I'm keeping it secret for her. She does care about what we give. And what percentage is that? What does that represent? Well, amen. This is for you to think about. What is your weekly income? What would 10% of that be? I don't like math, but even I can do this math. How do you get 10% of something? Move the decimal point over 1. Divide by 10. Whatever works for you. If you make $500 a week, then you move it over $50. That's 10. That's a tenth of it. You follow what I'm saying? That's a pretty easy one to calculate. And then the next one, what do you currently give every week? Again, this is between you and God. We're not going to, somebody said, I'm going to have to put my name on this. No, we're not collecting these. But I wanted it on a piece of paper, brothers, so that we can really look at it. I'm encouraging you, if you don't do it now, go home and put some numbers down. Because this is between you and God. Yeah. We don't track this. And again, I guess the office has some kind of, they keep some records, because if you give more than $250 a week, then the IRS wants you to get a receipt for it and all that stuff. But that's for that purpose. It's not for any other purpose. I don't know what it is. What you understand what I'm saying? But I think we need to think, where are we? There's so many issues here. I wish we had time to talk about debt. Somebody brought up one of the midweek. Debt is such an American thing that can be stifling. I'm going to tell you again. Let me just mention, we will be offering again the financial workshops that several of you have taken. Elsie's taught it. The Caspers have taught it. Maybe somebody else have taught it there. John Bean wrote it. It's kind of a combination of some of the Dave Ramsey stuff. He's got a good one too with, who's taken those workshops? Some of you have taken them. I think they're really good, aren't they? I think it's really helpful. Very practical, spiritual. I've asked the Caspers and Elsie if they'd be willing to offer those again this spring, because we're not just trying to batter us with hard facts. I do believe, though, we got out of debt by continuing to put God first instead of the debt. And things happened I couldn't have accounted for. I couldn't. If you wait till you get all your ducks in a row before you put God first, I don't know, the ducks will be dead or you'll be dead or something. I believe there's a spiritual principle here. I really do. And they can talk about some of that stuff. I think, in this last scripture comes from that same passage, as Paul has spent what we call 2 chapters talking about giving. That's how important it was to the Holy Spirit and Paul and what he wanted the Corinthians to know. And he ends it. There's a different topic after that. He ends it by saying, thanks be to God for his indescribable gift. What's the biggest motivator to give? Isn't it really gratitude? What God's done. And not just what God's done for us physically, materially. I think those are important. But look what God, Peter says, we have been redeemed from the empty way of life passed down to us by our forefathers, not with silver and gold, but with what?
Precious blood.
The precious blood of Christ. Now, I know the empty way of life, he was talking specifically about Judaism, but for most of us, the empty way of life we lived before we became Christians, we've been brought out of that. Not with money, with the death of God's Son. We have been given so much. So I'm going to turn around and be stingy with what God's given to me and hold on to it and trust in it. We've got maybe not very long, 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. I don't want you necessarily to respond to this in a negative way, but, if some of you just want to share what compels you, what encourages you to give, or how has God blessed you because you have given. I want us to end on a, upbeat note here. What encourages you to give? How has God blessed you because you have given? I know we got lots of, little brief testimonials in here. Somebody start us out. What encourages